Hey there, my name is Jessub Flower. I am a screenwriter, educator, and all around learning, training, and development nut. And welcome to the My Favorite Teacher podcast. That's right. This is episode 2 of the My Favorite Teacher podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I am here with a guest that I'm very excited about. This is somebody that I know personally. It's somebody that's been a friend of mine for quite some time. But he has attained some levels of success that I would really want to be able to dig into just a touch, and then honestly get into the name of the game, who his favorite teacher was. So this is Justin Ross. He's, like I said, a good friend of mine. He is actually an arborist and a vegetation supervisor for a utility company. Been doing that job for 11 or so years. He is also very creative. He's a writer. He is a performer, and he is a musician that blows my mind every time he puts stuff together. And he's also a stand-up comic that I will say that we have had the chance to perform next to each other. You don't want to do that? You don't want to talk about
you got to
that?
slow
I didn't even
down.
introduce you yet.
You do it once. I don't know if that counts.
Doesn't matter. So now that we've blown the intro, please welcome Justin Ross to the program, everybody. Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Justin. So,
Of course.
I'm sorry that I threw that out there, but we have to say that you and I actually did stand-up comedy together. We had a challenge, didn't we?
That was a creative adventure that I want to continue. This was, oh man, 8 years ago, I want to say,
So,
seven
wow.
and a half years ago, when we came up with the idea of doing
You came up with the idea
yep.
first.
And you're brave enough to accept the challenge, but it's essentially, I wanted to do a 5-minute stand-up set before I turned 30. And so I was like, let's just do it. And so we started recording a podcast, actually, which, oh, come
We
on,
did.
let's get it going.
That will probably never see the light of day.
Probably not. But where we would bounce our jokes off each other and try to develop them, pitch back and forth, try to punch them up. Took a couple months doing that, and then went to an open mic and had varied success, and it was just more for the fun
Varied
of it.
success,
Yes.
meaning that you got laughs and I didn't. I think that's the varied success we're looking for.
I would say I got a couple and then trailed off and walked off the stage in nervousness. But
I just got applause because they thought, oh, this is a nice little speech, and they just applauded me politely. So that was
you were an
I'll
effective
take it, I
communicator.
guess. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But it also was the most terrified I've ever been in my entire life. I teach public speaking. I've been doing public speaking all my life, and that was the time that I was the most scared of being up in front of anybody. It was insane.
Everybody should do it.
Yeah, I agree,
Yeah,
100%.
Just put it out there.
But Ryder, how long? And this is something I actually don't know about you. I'm embarrassed to not know that. When did you start music? Have you done music all your life too?
Yeah, I think I was 10 when I picked up a guitar.
Wow.
Watched my dad.
Guitar was first?
Yeah, watched my dad playing it, clumsily, getting along with old 70s, 60s rock songs, and fortunately got past where he was at, and Creed was a big influence. I got the tablature book of Creed's Human Clay, ripped through that thing, changed my life, was playing Sum 41, and I went from there to learning more instruments. And now I play drums primarily because it's the most fun.
Oh, sure.
I got kind of bored with guitar, although
Guitar.
it's still special to me. I brought it here today.
You got it with you?
Yeah, it's kind
But
of my
you can play. How many instruments can you play?
proficiently, just guitar and drums. I can thumb along with the bass. I pluck around on the piano. Um, I have an accordion that I inherited from my grandfather. It's from like the 1800s. It's
What?
amazing in pristine condition. And I can't play it, but I'll mess around on it because it's so cool.
But you got to learn that.
I know.
Join the Weird Al
It's my next.
crew, man. That's awesome.
No, I guess that's in line with what I
That's
do.
awesome. Do you remember the first song you ever played on the guitar?
Yeah, I don't know the name of it. It's some stupid thing, but the real because I was just plucking ding,
Some
just two
stupid thing that was
string. Yeah,
Mozart.
yeah, so yeah. No, I think the first real song was "I'd Love to Change the World" by
Oh,
what is their name? Spacing it right now. Oh, I'm a failure. My dad is so angry with me. Uh,
No, I can guarantee he doesn't listen.
it'll, it'll come back to me. It's a song out of the late 60s.
Okay,
Just E minor walk up to G, basic chords, but that was the
cool.
first one. It's a cool song.
And I'm sorry, that was when, like, how old you said you were when you started?
I was 10 when I started. I maybe knew that song by 11 or 12.
Okay. And then did you play in school? Did you play any instruments in school?
The only thing I did was drum in I think
You did like
my
the drum, like
yeah,
the
just learning
marching
the how
thing?
to read music as far as drums go. I already forgot all of it. I was never professionally taught, self-taught with everything. I just figured out. Yeah, that's the only capacity I did music. But I did perform at what we called, well, it was called cabaret. It was like a two-night talent show event. So other venues to explore. And then I played, in high school screamo bands and stuff like that.
Nice.
I've been playing here and there for last, I don't know, 20 years.
And so, speaking of school, because this kind of transitions us into the main thrust of our podcast here, how was school for you? I mean, growing up and stuff like that, was it difficult? Was it easy? Was it normal? And school was school. Tell me a little bit about your school experience.
A small town in Southern Oregon. I had great teachers growing up. I don't have a memory really with a bad teacher, which is incredible. I think I was the one to kind of make the teachers happy or at least, play along. I never got in trouble or anything like that.
Really?
Uh, well, okay, in kindergarten, I stuck my tongue out twice and I got a
How dare
threat of a
you?
citation. And that was the most scared I'd ever been in my whole school experience. So
You're
I
one of
learned,
those kids that, like, if your name made it on the board, it's like, my life is over.
oh yeah, I
Okay.
corrected that in kindergarten. Uh, but
That's awesome.
it was a good experience. I think because it was small enough, I got enough attention, or each kid in the class got enough attention if they needed it. Um, but generally did fairly well. I think. I mean, maybe this is a downfall or a negative to it, but I didn't I didn't get told I should go to college. I should go to college
Hmm.
until the day before I graduated when I finally sat down with the counselor. And they
Really
were like, "Hey, your grades are
interesting.
really good." I was on honor roll. I did some AP classes, and they're like, "Hey, you should probably consider college." I was like, "Oh, well, that hasn't been on my radar," just because of my upbringing and the way I was raised. Maybe that's a gap for sure, but I
Well,
let
that's
it.
probably one of the reasons why we don't call this podcast My Favorite Counselor podcast. But
Oh, oh,
oh, shots
oh,
fired.
shots
Oh.
fired.
But it is called My Favorite Teacher podcast. So I ask you, Justin Ross, who's your favorite teacher?
It was an easy, immediate answer when you asked. I think a little context. I moved from another town after my freshman year. I moved and left all my childhood friends and went to a new school because my dad remarried, and so I was kind of plopped into the middle of this thing, and I had some like kind of unfortunate events right before I moved. I had some friends that went through the tragedy. So I felt really alone when I went to high school, so I had to figure out everything. I was like, who am I going to be friends with? How am I going to navigate this? And I think part of the quality of me is I tend to listen or try to hear out everybody and kind of make friends with everybody. So I was kind of the mm, emo kid who was friends with every different group of people, but didn't really have like a best friend. I made ends and I had a way of, having fun with people and connecting, but still I sat alone at most lunches. But the reason I said it's so easy is because I found like a home in the teacher that I want to talk about. His name was Mr. Christiansen, Kelly Christiansen, and you might not be surprised by that answer. I think you have people in your life who have been affected by him as well. He was among us, but still maintained his authority as a role as a teacher, as someone doing his job. It was a beautiful blend, and I can't explain. I try to emulate that in my job now. I have 14 people that I supervise, and I try to ride that as far as enforcing rules, keeping order, but also being there and really seeing people where they're at. And so that's what we called him Mr. C, and that's what he did. And
What
soon
did he teach?
It was English, I believe, and a couple other things. I think my sophomore English year is when I really connected with him and those in the class as well. He ended up being where I'd go to eat lunch. I'd bring a cup of noodles and I'd microwave it next to his desk. And often it would boil over and then stink, and he would just put up with it. But he made a place, for people to feel welcome. And I
Were you
think
the only one that would like join him for lunch, or was it kind of like a thing? Like, did other people join him as well?
here and there there'd be other people. Sometimes there'd be a group. It wasn't always just me, and I wasn't always there, but it was a safe spot. It was like, okay, the
Hmm.
tables are full. Let's go see Mr.
When
C.
did you first? So your sophomore year is probably when you were first introduced to him.
Yeah, that's right. And that's when I first went to that school. Yeah.
And what was your impression like before meeting him? This is something that I'm really wanting to make sure that I ask different people, and sometimes perceptions are different than people's realities. So what I want to find out is when you, or was he brand new? Or were you brand new? It's like I didn't know anything about him, and then I was just thrust into his class. Or it was like, no, we had this perception of he was this way, and I was looking forward to his class or not, etc.
No real preconceived notions. This was just showing up first time at a new school and introduced as he taught the class. And I immediately connected with his style. He was inclusive. He'd ask people who weren't talking, hey, what do you think about this? He'd make sure people were heard, um, and ask questions that I didn't expect from a teacher that were more personal about how they really thought about certain things, whatever the subject was.
Do you remember, and this is difficult because I'm throwing it right on you, are there any one instance that you remember that kind of locked that, place in your heart at that time of just like, I know that there were lunches and there were things that you did, but can you think of any instance where you had like an interaction with him that was like, "Ah, this guy's awesome."
Yeah, so the content, what I'm going to say, I'm going to keep out, but I'm going to talk about
Sure.
the heart of it. So,
Yeah. Talk about whatever you're comfortable with. Totally fine.
sure, well, it's just what's more important is how he asked it. So I think it was halfway through the year, maybe we were having we were reading through a book, and he brought up some controversial issues that, a lot of people all over the country talk about. He asked me, he singled me out. He said, "What do you think about this?" Because he knew about what I believed in general. So he
Okay.
knew my kind of worldview, and he challenged that. He said, "Well, what about this?" And one example I will say is, he, and feel free to edit this out. I don't think it's too crazy. We were talking about, he brought up the death penalty. Okay, so first of all, that's a interesting subject.
Yeah.
I don't know how old I was, maybe 14, 15, and at that time I had this, kind of black and white view on that, of, would you kill in self-defense? Is that okay?
Sure.
And I had a more rigid thought of like, no, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's ever right to kill. And then he really challenged me on that and said, what if someone comes after you and you're protecting your family, or, and really like addressed me where I'm at, but not in a way that I felt exposed to the rest of the class. It was just like,
Hmm.
have you answered these questions for yourself? Have you really thought through this? And we had a meaningful discussion about it. And I knew at that point he was really interested in us as students and what we really thought, and not about an agenda, about him trying to tell us either
Right.
way. He was teaching us to think and be critical. And
And not even to add words or put words in your mouth, but not even thinking of you as students, but as people,
exactly. And
as future members of society. And so many teachers, and we're not going to go negative, but so many teachers do have a particular agenda, like you said, or they just say, I've just got to check these boxes or something like that. But the ones that seem to make a difference are the ones that look differently and look at what they want to not just put in, but what they want to get out of their students.
yeah, I think it's obvious that the impact that was left by him was more that interaction than it was any of the material we learned. I can't tell you, you know, the plot of To Kill a Mockingbird, although we read that. And also he read it in all the voices. So he would do the voice, like he
Oh,
was full committed to the bits. It was amazing. But
so not to cut you off, but so it's a situation where not only was he engaging on a non-class level, so like interactive, and open my room up to lunches and just really digging in and asking specific questions. But as a teacher, he was a good teacher as well.
Absolutely. Um, and the reason I think he left such a mark is because he definitely opened up and treated us as people, but also he was an effective communicator. I mean, he wasn't boring, right? Like it takes more than just one thing, right? And he was kind of the whole package. And I think one big thing too is that he would let us into his life, about
Oh,
how his preferences. Sometimes if something was going on with his family, if he felt a certain way, if he had a bad day, he wouldn't just fake it. He would sometimes just say, "Hey, I'm having a rough day. Here's where I'm at. Have patience with me." And that evoked empathy from us, and we knew that we could get that in return if we were having a bad day. So it was really effective.
how do you think Mr. C's things that he taught you in high school affect you today, or do they?
Well, they definitely do. I think it at that time where I was pretty in a vulnerable state, you could say, as far as so much change in my life and figuring out where I was going to go. He kind of reinforced some of the core beliefs that I carry and gave me confidence to live that way, as far as empathy, understanding others, making a space, treating people with respect, vulnerability. Um, I think that was influential in how I lead today, how I lead my family, um, and just how I treat people. I can't say if I didn't experience that, I'd be different, but it definitely reinforced and encouraged me in those traits.
That's cool. Do you know if he's still with us?
He is not. Um,
So he did pass,
he
huh?
yeah, he passed a few years after I graduated, and I want
Oh, really?
to yeah. And what's beautiful and a testament to his legacy is, uh, Billy Newman was one of his students as well. He's a friend of mine, one grade lower, started a charity in his name, and raised funds to go to a cause that he was passionate about. So uh, that continued for a few years. I'm not sure where it's at now, um, but he left a mark, and yeah, amazing man.
If you had him with you, if he was on this podcast, what would you say to him?
Well, there's another layer. So I entered student government the next year, and he was the director of that. And so he led us on these kind of breakout events where we'd go and do things out of the box. We went and stayed at a cabin, and he sat us all down and he said, "Hey, everybody, bring your favorite song. We're gonna play it, listen to it together, and then you get to stand up and tell us why you like it." And so for me, I'm like,
That's awesome.
oh,
This is my jam.
I was like, oh, my heart. And I played
It's
this.
going to be the very first song I ever played on the guitar.
Oh, they wish. Uh, everybody is playing these like motivational songs, like Switchfoot, we were meant to live for so much more, and all these other things. And then I show up, I'm like, all right, here's this crazy screamo, awful, like
Yes,
in your face song, and I played it full volume. Didn't apologize. I was like, here's what it means to me, and he let me do
that's
that. And
that's
most
awesome.
most everybody hated it, but I had my spot. Um, I mean, I'll tell you, I was swoop bangs like black streaks in my swoop
Come
bang hair.
on.
Yeah, It was a different time for sure. I mean, if I had it,
Yeah.
I would still rock it, but I was in my emo phase for sure. So I got to be myself. But okay, and your question was what would I say to him now? Is that
Yeah.
yeah?
Yes.
I'm just gonna imagine he just come sit beside me. Uh, I'd say, hey, Shania Twain is still hot. Because he was a big fan of Shania Twain. He made that
Nice.
clear. I would just tell him, you know, how much love he exuded, left an imprint on so many more people than just me. Uh, what some people might view as a small stage, uh, definitely has a larger impact than you expect. Having the captive audience of people in their formative years has tremendous potential for directing people in a positive direction. And I would thank him for not overlooking that. I thank him for despite what was going on in his life, that he recognized the opportunity he had, and he took full advantage of it, and he really poured love into, the classroom and everybody who got to meet him,
Amazing. Pour one out for Mr. C.
There we go, Mr. C.
That's cool. Justin, I really appreciate you sharing that with us. That not only, I think, inspires all of us, just in terms of learning what a teacher did and how they contributed to your success, but also just helps those teachers out there as well to understand that they have one of the hardest jobs on the planet. And if they will learn, from some of the best practices that we share here, they're going to realize that they are changing the world a little bit at a time. So thank you for sharing that. Justin, this is the time for plugs. Is there anything out there in terms of connection or anything like that you want people to find you, or is there any social medias or anything like that? If not, no problem.
The only thing I'll say is look forward to the Trying to Stand Up podcast coming soon from Justin Ross and Jessub Flower.
Oh, no.
It's only, I think we have 6 episodes in the can, and we're gonna have to do it again, and that's gonna be what spawns the release of the next,
I
the
like
whole
it.
thing.
Yeah, we'll make a date. We'll make a date of it. So
Then we'll
anyway, well, Justin, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks everybody out there for listening. I hope you get a chance to be able to come back and join us again for the My Favorite Teacher podcast. And thanks for joining us. Be nice to everybody out there. Take care. Bye-bye.